You're live.
Greetings, sports lovers. Day 9 of Dirty Sweat.
Hi there, Colin. How you doing?
Gary,
You
always
sound like me. Bit of a nasal thing. So we just want to let you know today
is
sponsored by Twin Savers.
We've picked up some kind of a snot sector. How, why, or where, we have no idea. But it's come down with viciousness of the dunes and the deserts and the roads in South America. Gary, there's carnage. It's freaking awesome. We spoke earlier, right in the beginning.
Correct.
About patience and about waiting for the facts before you respond. Today is a prime example. I've got the live timing in front of me, and just now I put my glasses on to see what the hell is going on. But I don't want to, because it's the most exciting and most frustrating thing I've seen in my entire life. By the way, Wardrobe did a good job today, hey?
Yeah, I thought I'd wear this. It's not quite the last show, but I'm getting close to the checkered flag scenario thing.
Well, it's Sunday. It's the end of our weekend, and you know, every morning we have a production meeting where we've got the executive producer, we've got catering. They've done a splendid job today. And the whole production team gets together to work out a sort of a path of where we're going. And there was a song that they were playing this morning from Bryan Adams, Keep the Faith. And I heard this and it just stuck with me the whole day. So I thought that we would go today with the theme.
Keep the faith.
Keep the faith. And who should keep the faith? Well, I'm a South African, 100%. We are, Brew.
Yes.
In 4 ways.
By
the way, we're back at Rustica Lodge. We've got ducks and geese. I asked Gary earlier what the difference between a duck and a goose was, but those guys, Sparky Bright in PE, will know what a goose is.
Not for live broadcasting.
So we'll go with some of the things the frustrations that I've got with looking at the timing today, because there's a 40-minute wait between one guy doing something and then another guy doing something else before we know what is what. So now...
Then switch that timing off and let's get on with the show.
Yeah, but I've got to talk to production because they only printed it in 18 font and not 24 like I asked. Gary.
Right, yes.
I need your help at the meeting.
Okay. Hi, Mario. Hi, Mario. How are you?
What happened yesterday? Is that Mario from Imperial?
No, this is Mario Landman, whose daughter's a very avid...
what we call it the roof.
Yeah, she did.
And she did so well.
Yeah.
And Mario makes great stuff out of wood.
Yes, the wood molder.
Brew. So what happened?
And to Lee Thompson and to Jackie Ann Schreiber. Jacqueline, nice to see you online. Enjoy the show.
And I've got to just have a quick little shout out to the guys who did so well in Dubai, the South African guys.
You're talking about Simon Murray and Bradley Liedenberg.
Gary, the nice thing about you is when my mind goes blank, you're there, and they won their class. They drove the wheels off that Janetta G55 of theirs, made me actually, as just a dude who loves motorsport, so proud. Well done, guys. Keep it up. Hope to follow more endurance racing. Our theme this year, and we're on the 14th of January. My granddaughter is 11 months old today. Awesome. So our theme this year is endurance.
I like that. You're keeping this a family show. Nice way to go, Colin. Very good. Keep it up.
Thanks, Gary. We work hard. I've got to, in the production meeting, guys. So what happened yesterday? There was, the poo hit the fan, literally. Stefan Peter Hensel had a minor damper problem.
A minor damper problem? Dude!
No, it was minor. It wasn't there. Along with the whole...
What, so the damper wasn't there, or the problem?
The whole left-hand back corner of the car. So now we're going into, after rest day, we're going into marathon stage, and Peter Hansel is winning this thing by a mile. All he has to do is just back off, chill to the finish, and he's won this race overall. So what does he do? In his own words, he said he was going too fast. So he, for whatever reason, hit something very hard, and he even admits that it was a severe jolt. So it destroyed a portion of the car. And
isn't that similar to the type of things we go through riding along the roads in Johannesburg with these potholes? You get forced in a situation, you can't miss it, and it takes the back tire.
No. This just doesn't take out the tire. It takes out the tire, the uprights, the suspension, the whole. It like blew the back left of the car apart. So he parks on the side of the road, and then waits for his mate, Cyril Despres or Dupre, if you
CP.
He arrives and they start. But before now, Dupre had got delayed as well.
Yes.
Now they knew that Dupre was we spoke that D word, we're not going to go there, but he's his backup. And so Dupre is now driving for any Peugeot ahead of them. And they decided they started stripping the car, so when Cyril arrived there, they could take all the bits and pieces off his car and carry on. So Peter Hansel, Mr. Dakar, lost an hour 46 yesterday. So from going way in the front, he's now not so way in the front in the overalls. He was third. You know, depending on where you go, from the very, very close to just in front of Janelle. So Carlos Sainz, El Matador, wins the stage, and he now ends up leading the race from NASA. But he's an hour and 11 minutes ahead of NASA. This is at the end of yesterday, and remember, yesterday is the marathon stage, so there's no other service. What happened was so they got Peter going, and he got to the end of the stage, and Dupre had to wait for the support truck, the fast truck, to arrive, and they rebuilt the car, and combination of drive stroke tow got him into the bivouac, and they rebuilt Dupre's car, and today them Peugeots are smoking it. But the interesting thing was that it shook up the result, and we spoke about patience, Gary.
Yeah.
And patience of this thing is, we today probably in the halfway number of the stage, and a prime example of this patience is you've now got Peter Hansel, who starts, I think, in 17th position, just over 40 minutes behind Carlos. So you've got to wait. Carlos goes through a checkpoint, and there's live timing, and everybody's getting super excited, and they take pictures when their favorite driver goes over, post on various forms of WhatsApp group and social media and all the other bloody things that destroy our lives. And patience, people. And we then have to wait 40 minutes to see how Peter Hansel's going.
Correct.
Turns out, Gary, and I need my eyes for this because it's a computer, that dude is quick as hell. So today NASA's taken 35 seconds back at waypoint 6, but the purpose of this is to try and convey some of the excitement that I get excited at this lot. I absolutely, this is epic, it is magnificent. Anyway, let me just, calm down about the racing. They're sitting 10,000 kilometers away.
Yeah.
It is so awesome.
And if some of you did manage to catch some of the earlier stuff we posted, it gave you some idea of the type of terrain that they're actually racing on. And from a helicopter, it looks quite cool. But do yourself a favor and watch that footage pretty closely. You'll see how much hammering these cars really do take through this terrain. It's not as easy as what everybody makes out to be.
You know what I like when you come in, Gary? It gives me a chance to check out the notes there. So, last night, the ranking at the end of the stage, and remember the mechanics are the drivers and the co-drivers. They've got to do their own stuff. And there's two distinct moods in the camp last night. So it was Saints an hour 11 ahead of NASA and an hour 20 ahead of Peter. And there's a debate whether it was 8 or 10 seconds or 4 seconds that Peter was ahead of Janelle de Villiers. And then Tim Brink an hour 52 behind. So they sound like big gaps. But take a corner off a car, get stuck.
For 20 minutes, and suddenly your gap is gone.
Yeah. So the producers wanted me to do my best on rhythmic speaking and all the rest of it. So the top 6 was pug toy, mini.
Is this some new sort of rap tune? Pug toy, money.
And now to prove that I haven't had any beer today, it's Brzezinski in the mini, privateer mini. run by Mr. Quant. So Stefan, I mean, Saints opens the stage today. He's got a tough job ahead of him, and it looked like for the first part of it he's chilling out. And we go back, Gary, to keep the faith.
Yes.
So at the end of today's stage, and there's a whole lot of issues about what's happening tomorrow. There's rain. There's all sorts of crappy weather in South America right about now. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Just on that, if I may, just on that, I think this is where people should actually take consciousness. If there is a major announcement that's going to be made with anything to do with Dakar, it'll come from the ASO itself, not from some hearsay from somebody sitting on Facebook. All right.
Gary, so, we leave the Facebook warriors.
Yeah.
We only work on facts, 2 verifiable sources.
Yeah.
If it's on the Dakar.com website, you've got to wait a little bit because there might be a glitch and all the rest of it, but try and verify anything. And again, our theme, patience. Bug toy
mini.
That's not a mini, it's friggin' huge. Anyway, so tomorrow, what can we expect tomorrow? Well, first of all, the crews who've got to Tepisa are anxiously waiting their cars. They want their babies back. They want to get my car back. They haven't had their car for a whole night.
In real time, they're probably able to enjoy something the drivers enjoyed on rest day, because there's nothing much they can do in this bivouac except wait.
Yeah.
So what are they probably doing now? Are they probably catching up on sleep, reading, communicating with the world? Mom, how dad, that sort of thing. Or they
depends if they've got Wi-Fi. Remember, these guys have been away from home and their loved ones, and some of them got little kids, and it's hard on these guys. These guys they love motorsport. They love working on cars. They love the fact that these are the guys. They're not at the sharp end of the publicity. Nobody ever interviews them. Nobody ever puts them up there and says, Mac ran this car, or ran the technical team, and got the guys to the end. And JP picked the parts, and Kevin Knipe has got the greatest sense of humor there. And
but even guys
they don't reach the
but even the guys like the team managers, Glenn Hall and what's his name, Thompson. These type of boys, you hear about them in the beginning of Dakar, maybe one or two interviews during Dakar, and about at the end. But during the Dakar itself, they're hardly seen.
John Saver, thank you very much.
They're hardly
Gary Saver.
They're hardly seen or spoken about. And like you say, they're out in unsung heroes, because if they didn't build these cars and do what they did, I'd be sitting drinking beer right now.
Well, that's an interesting conundrum. But there are all sorts of different personality types that are involved in motorsport, and essentially the real successful racing drivers are a little bit selfish, a little bit egotistical, a little bit narcissistic, and I'll say this with the absolute respect and love for the truly respectful drivers, true respect for the top drivers that I have, because they are focused on me. Give me the car that I need to make me the quickest to get from here to there. The team manager, on the other hand, has to look at this as a chess match, so that he brings in one driver who might be an absolute sure bet, another one who he's now got to groom to take over for another couple of years, and another one who's just going to go out there and give it flat out horns and put the opposition under pressure. So these are the things that, from a team manager's point of view, they don't seek the limelight, and their greatest satisfaction is in achieving the objectives that they've sat down and drawn up with the sponsors, the manufacturer, their drivers, and getting to the end.
Just before you go to the next point, I want to welcome somebody that probably not too many of you on the international scene know, but Mr. Terence Marsh. Nice to have you watching us. Thanks for joining us. And we know what you were doing over in Dakar this year, and from Colin and myself and anybody else that's a fan of endurance racing and Dakar type racing, we wish you all the best with your endeavour next year, sir.
Terence runs an absolutely magnificent program from a Nissan Motorsport. I started racing essentially with Datsun back in the day, and it's evolved, and Terence has taken the Navara and the production of, it's not just building a race car, but building a business that is centered around the Nissan brand and the Nissan Navaras. And you know, the guy does an absolutely awesome job. So we hope to, Terence, no pressure. Next year, I want to see you at the sharp end. Right, so now what's going to happen tomorrow? Well, Gary, in its simplest form, I'm just going to go back to what I do know, not what I don't know. There's a whole lot of things about horrible weather and all the rest of it, but nothing that I've got that is confirmed. So I'm going to go with what I know about tomorrow. Tonight the cars are going to get back there. The boys are going to get their babies back. They're going to just love their babies again and make sure that the drivers who they trust, up to a point, have done what they need to do, and they're going to fix them up and prepare them so that drivers can get going tomorrow. So Monday, essentially, the plan is to Pisa to Salta. The nice part about it is that the crews have got a relatively short ride. And the whole stage, the racing stage, takes place in Bolivia.
Okay.
Which is a bit of a, you race in Bolivia, you cross the border and then drive 400 Ks.
To the bivouac.
To the bivouac.
Okay.
Now, 400 kilometers at a maximum speed of 100 Ks an hour. Remember that you've got the GPS tracking, so you can't go fast. And 400 kilometers takes you well over 4 hours. It is brain damage. It's mind numbing. These guys come out of a stage. They are
Pumped with adrenaline.
And there's focus. Their eyes are big. They're like 100%. This is 100% focus. And now you've got to back that off and drive for 4.5 hours. And I do know that I actually spent some time last year with Dirk van Zetswits running around probably 3 shopping malls looking for a wire to go from the iPod into the intercom. Dirk, I know that you will have got this sorted out now. And they listen to the most crazy music, like classical music, which just like zones out and takes them into another place, because you can only focus 100 and lots of percentage or for so long.
Yeah.
And then you have to
zone
unfocus.
out. Yeah.
And just okay, well, I got that from the Egyptian geese in the background. And Gary, that brings us back to Brian Adams and Keep the Faith. There's a race unfolding across bits and pieces of South America. The one car is 40 minutes ahead of the other car, but they're actually racing each other. And guys, be patient. Wait for them to both cross the checkpoints. Wait for the end.
Correct.
And the biggest thing, both personally and from a motorsport point of view, that I'm learning is patience, brew. Here in Fourways, we're back at Rustica Lodge. The Egyptian geese have chilled out. It is the end of Sunday. We thank Twin Saver for their awesome support for Gary and his affliction. And on that note,
and to all of you, thank you very much for watching. We will see you tomorrow, 6 o'clock South African time. Have a lovely evening. Cheers.
And remember the comments down the bottom, any questions, queries, and anything else. Thanks a lot for joining us. Have a great evening. Cheers. Have you got the button? Have you got the button?